welcome to the Conversations with Kai Mann show. I'm your host, Kai Mann, and this is the show where we bridge the gaps, one story at a time. And today I have an amazing guest. She is one of my most trusted, most confidant friends. She is amazing, y'all. She is totally amazing. I call her the Book Whisperer. This is a woman who has, I want to dare to say, about 100 books. Like, seriously. She has been writing ever since I've known her. She's come up with like tons of different books. She's in the romance genre. She is amazing. She has 3 beautiful children that she's raised. Welcome, 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 Sylvia Hubbard.
Thank you for having me. I'm very honored.
You are quite welcome. You're quite welcome. Well, you know what? I am so glad to have you here on our couch because I want to really get into the meat or the crux of who Sylvia Hubbard is, because don't be scared. Don't be scared.
Okay.
You have been, I've known you probably for about, I want to say 7 or 8 years.
Yeah, probably.
About 7 or 8 years. And I've watched you. I've watched you give of yourself tirelessly. I've seen you give information that no one else has, no one else can find. And I'm like, how does she do that? But you're so amazing.
Thank you.
Where does the energy that you have come from?
I always call it when I can't explain things or how I do things, I call it God's grace. Gets me up in the morning, gets that energy flowing, even when I don't feel like it. You know, just pushing me into what His will would be. So I usually just try to explain it as I stop saying I don't know how I do it. I just now say God's grace, because not only do I look cool saying it, but it gives me the power to say, you know, Lord, when I'm feeling tired, when I just don't want to go on, and there are things, you know, being a single mom, head of the household, working full time, and just running a business, and then being creative on top of that.
Right.
There's no way to explain, you know, how do my feet get on the ground? How do I stand up, you know, every morning and get things done? So I just call it just God's grace.
Wow.
Just keep blessing me.
Wow. I remember one time I went, and I think you were having a book launch. I really didn't know you, but I was there, and I was just sitting there and I was listening to your story. And I remember something that really sticks with me to this day is that you have like this 1 second rule. You know how many seconds it takes to do things.
Yeah.
And I thought that was so amazing. I'm like, that's so dope. Okay, so now I'm going to try and figure out how many seconds it takes me to do whatever, so that I can do them. You have, where do you come up with these types of things? Like, literally, where do you come up with these things?
Because I have to say, being a mom, you kind of have to micromanage everything. So you get to the point of, I need to make it as easy as possible to do what I have to do and be able to raise 3 children that are functioning adults. So that's always on the back of your mind. But you always have to go back and say, well, 24 hours is not enough time in a day for me to try to be a homeowner, be a mom, be a worker, be a daughter, be Sylvia.
Right.
I need more time. And then when you break it down in minutes, that is still not enough time. So like when I broke it down in seconds, it was like, wow, how long does it take to boil water? What can I be doing while that water is boiling? And just multitasking my life and just saying, okay, I can get this done, and this done. And by the end of the day, you're like, wow, I have even some extra time to watch a movie.
Right.
And even during a movie, I'm doing something else. I'm catching up on a book. I'm writing a book. So it's just, I just learned to just bring things together and manage things, not only just in my personal life, but my business life, my creative life, and just mixing it around in a good soup and eating it.
I hear you. I hear
good
you.
soup to eat.
If we had to say who Sylvia was 20 years ago, who would Sylvia Hubbard be 20 years ago?
I would have to say the first time my first boss ever he would go around the room and describe people in one word. So, and this kind of told you like your work performance and everything. And then he looked directly at me and he said enthusiastic. And that was kind of an odd word. I mean, to this day, I still remember him saying that to me. Like, no one had ever said I was enthusiastic. And it wasn't even a job I liked. But, you know, I've always been told, my mom always told us, you know, no matter what kind of job you get, do it to the best of your abilities. You know, like Martin Luther King said, you know, do it so the angels in heaven will sing your praises. So whatever thing that I have been given, I put my all into it. And that's gone through my whole life of being that enthusiastic person from day one. If you give me something, I'm going to be enthusiastic about it.
Yeah. We have in life, we go through so much.
Yes.
We go through one phase, we go through different levels, different dimensions of who we are as people. And I know some years ago you had a fire.
Yes.
And I was privy to kind of see people, how they came together for you.
Yeah.
And I thought to myself, how amazing was that for people to be able to come together.
That was pretty amazing. I think a lot of people don't even know, like a lot of people like think that, oh, you just bounce back, and then, you know, they see it now. They see like, oh, you have all these blessings and you're in a house and stuff like that. But you know, during that whole time, we literally had nothing. Like I think when you guys saw me, it had been 3 days after the fire. I was still wearing the same underwear since that day of the fire.
Wow.
Like, literally, I had no underwear to change into. And when people came together and they were like just saying, if Sylvia's ever helped you out, whatever pocket change you got, like give it to her. And I mean, at that moment, a lot of people don't know, like the day after the fire, we had moved into my dad's house, and then, you know, I got up that morning, and of course I'm enthusiastic, so I had a plan. We're gonna go Red Cross, we're gonna go find vouchers, we're gonna, you know, I'm doing all this, you know, okay, I gotta go to the state of Michigan, I gotta go, you know, I got this list in my head, you know, I'm always planning things. And my son just kept saying, Ma, and I'm like, okay, come on, boy, get on your clothes, let's, whatever you got, just throw it on, let's get in the car and let's go. And then he finally said, Sylvia, you know, I did that black woman turn, like, you talking to me? And then he was like, Ma, I don't have any shoes. And for a mom to not be able to provide that one basic benefit for your child, like, and I had like 68 cents in my account, and I knew I had 68 cents in my bank account because like 10 minutes before the fire I had checked my bank account. So I'm about to have a nervous breakdown. He's standing in front of me, and I'm like, I am not about to like lose it. After raising this boy for 15 years, I'm not about to I just literally want to just fall on the ground, not get back up. Like, this is it. I've been through it, Lord. You know, you tried and tested me, and I just didn't fail. I was ready to just fail and leave life as is. And I opened up my phone and I was just playing with my phone. I went to the last thing I had pulled up, which was my PayPal account. And overnight, people had donated over $1,000. Wow. When I tell you, the saving grace was that $1,000, not because it was money, but because they had saved, that literally saved me mentally from showing this boy. I really had no idea what to do. For the first time in my life, I had no plan. I had no way to say, okay, we can just do this. There was no other way, and I've always been able to do that. But that literally saved my sanity. And I just said, hey, let's get in the car. We'll go to Payless and get whatever they got on the shelf, and just that, and I think he knew like that was a pivotal moment. And he said, Ma, he's like, you was shaking. I didn't even realize I was shaking. He's like, Ma, you was shaking real hard. I was like, I had no idea. So when people come together, people don't really understand, it takes a village, not only to raise a child, but to help other people. And when the community came together for me, it was just amazing, you know. And you know, you never really see blessings. You never see what comes back at you. You give and give and give, and then you never really can actually explain that to your children. Well, we're going to give. We're just going to keep giving, and they never really see what comes back, you know.
Right.
But when the community came together and did that, I was able to show my kids, actually got to see, you know, all this giving that I have done. And a lot of times they did complain. They were like, Mom, we don't have any gas. How are we even going to get back from something? And I'd be like, hey, we'll just work it out. But these people need us, or we have to do this. This is something we have to do. You know, I used my last dime when I should have been paying, you know, DTE to go help somebody else out, you know, go buy their book. And I didn't even know how I was going to make it to work the next day, you know. So then the kids saw I was giving and giving, and then when they saw how that giving came back tenfold, it was just amazing. Because even in the temporary house we moved in, people just knocked on the door or left things on the porch, or they came over. Like one author, he was a master plumber, and I couldn't get the pipes to work. He came and ran all the pipes correctly. And then it was a master electrician. He actually plugged in our stove, got our electricity work. I mean, it was just amazing, because they were like, well, you know, you did this article, or you did this video, or I came to this lecture for you, and I just had to do something. And even if they didn't have money, they just came out and did something. And it was just amazing to just show my kids that they got to see what blessings do, for when you bless somebody, how it comes back to you. So that was just great. It made me start crying. It was just amazing to be able to teach your children that.
Right.
Because you can never say, you can take them to church all day. You can take them to the best church in the whole world. But if kids do not see it, you know, you can tell them, believe in it. It's going to happen. But if they don't see it, you know, it just sounds like you just, hey, you're wishing on a star.
Right.
Hey, let me go believe in fairies. You know, but they saw it. They saw what blessings were and how it came back to you. And I think it made them even better, you know, people for them, more for me. It took it made my job less difficult as a parent.
Awesome. And you have 3 amazing kids. I cannot believe how old they are now. As you were sitting there talking to me earlier, I'm like, oh my God, they used to be so like little, like they're like growing up and gone.
I cannot wait.
She said, I cannot wait.
My mommy, like, this is almost over. I'm not renewing.
It will never be over.
I'm not renewing.
It will never be over.
Like, oh my God. I'm on guardianship. That's where I'm at now. I told my daughter, I'm just a guardian. Just bring me a paper to sign and go away.
I remember you telling me, I asked you once before, like, how did you write your books? You have 3 kids. Nobody. Every person has a right to say, well, I have three kids. I can't do that. Like, I literally can't do that. But you did not do that. You wrote like a hell of a lot of books while you had little ones.
Yeah.
Like, what was that like for you? Like, what was not so much as the act itself, but what was the what was going on inside your head of why you had to write these books?
Well, I actually have to thank my mom, because she said, never raise kids so you live around the kids. You raise kids to live around you.
Wow.
So she said, if there's something that you have to do, then you have to raise them so that they understand what you're doing, and then work around that. So when it came to writing, they knew writing made me happy and kept me out of their face. So we would work on hand signals, we work on taps on the wall. If they had the door closed, don't bother me. They knew that this was an income I brought in as they got older. Like, you know, we would go to the book signings and they'd be under the table, sit there with their leapfrog, their little play games, and just leave me alone. And then we go home, and on the way home, hey Mom, did you sell any books? I was like, yeah, we can go to the dollar store, pick out whatever you want. And that would be their incentive. Let's do this. Let's help Mama.
Awesome.
So, yes.
Well, we're going to take a quick break. This is the Conversations with Mann show. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Focus One Entertainment is Detroit's premier entertainment company. But we're not just an entertainment company. We are your #1 multimedia resource. Focus One has combined years of talent and experience in order to bring you what you're looking for in a video, a polished professional product. F1 Entertainment specializes in filming workshops, seminars, and corporate presentations. More and more businesses are utilizing video production services to create web virtuals, online marketing content, and promotional and corporate training videos. Your company can do the same with Focus One Entertainment. Contact Focus One Entertainment at 313-444-3638 or visit us on the web at www.focusoneentertainment.com.
Hello, Detroit, and welcome to the secret society of twisted storytellers, where real people tell true stories live on stage. No notes, no poetry or Dr. Seuss, just the truth from their lips to your listening hearts and minds. Stories so raw and revealing, so hilarious, human and healing, they will move and inspire you. Take a break from what you usually do. Come out, connect, meet old friends and new. Every third Friday at the Charles H. Wright Museum of African American History. Visit www.secretstorytellers.com to watch videos and for info and tickets today.
And we are back. This is the Conversations with Kai Mann show. I'm sitting here and I'm talking with Sylvia Hubbard, one of my favorite people here in Detroit. She is totally the book whisperer. That's what I call her. She is the book whisperer. You have this, what I will call, and this is me looking from the outside. I believe that you have this amazing spirit which gives you this amazing life. So there's a lot of people who know. If I said, I'm in Livonia, and if I said Sylvia Hubbard, people in Livonia would know who Sylvia Hubbard is. You know, no matter where it is that you go, people know who Sylvia Hubbard is.
Weird.
And they always, this is weird, they always have something good to say about you. Who do we have to really thank for the total essence of Sylvia Hubbard?
I have to go back to my mom because she always said be an asset, not a liability. And that goes for each and every person, you know, when you meet people, you know, do something kind. That's all she talked about. And I've learned kindness goes a long way. Even just, you know, unexpected kindness goes a long way, rather than just kind of demanding what you wanted. And I think my mom's a queen. Like, I think her life and her teachings have been just wonderful, and she would drop these little nuggets in our ear, and then, you know, 10 years later I'd be like, oh my God, my mom was so right, just do this little thing and it works. But just being kind to people is, it's a job for me. It's just like, I have to do it. I have to make people's lives better. If you're in my life, or even if we just met, sometimes just doing some little thing not only brightens their day, but it makes your life so much better. And I can say I've been through the gambit, like, you know, raising 3 kids all by myself, being on $21,000 a year with 3 kids. That's no joke in a 1-bedroom apartment, you know, but we were still doing things, blessing people, just doing kindness. It went a long way. It brought joy to my life. And sometimes I needed that little sunshine of bringing sunshine to somebody else, and those rays fall on me. It made me feel better. So I think just the essence of me and my soul and everything, I really have to say it was my mom who, you know, put those little nuggets here and there, and, you know, she kind of planted the seeds, and then it was up to me to make them grow. And I mean, anybody I think I've ever met, I can basically say I have been nice to them. And that's crazy, you know. Don't let the smooth taste fool you now.
Don't get it twisted.
Right, don't get it twisted. I know how to take control, you know, and if people are amazed, you know, but, you know, and that's so funny because a lot of times when I go into a room and people there are bigger and better or richer than me, and they look upon me and, they give me that, oh, well, you don't know anything. And then as soon as I open up my mouth, they're like, oh my gosh, why didn't I speak to you before? Or why didn't I say something to you before? Can I have your card? Or I have to know you. And it's been really, really weird for me because, like you said, I find information out and it's kind of like being on the limitless pill.
Yeah.
That's what it is. So like when I'm with or I'm doing things or someone says, oh, Sylvia, I need help doing this. For some reason, my brain soaks some information in maybe 5-6 years ago, and then it can spit it back out when it's needed. Looks like a limitless pill, and it's kind of fun being in my brain. Like, hey, I didn't even know this myself, but you could do this, and they'd be like, you really could do that? Let's just try and see. Or I'll give advice, and people's like, it really worked. It did. Because at that time, I didn't realize, okay, I'm learning this information or I'm absorbing this information. And it could be just something out here like, bam, okay, let's tuck that away in file C, third drawer. And then 2 years later, boom. And it's just like, oh, okay, girl, you can do this and this and this. Really? Girl, let's try it. So it's like, it's really amazing because I want to help people. I do literally love to help people, whether, not just publishing a book or marketing their book, but just being a mom, being a human, being a woman, just, heck, I got tips and tricks for everybody. Yeah.
You have, every so often, like I'll go in my emails and there's like 50,000 of them, but there's this one from Sylvia Hubbard that's giving me something. And I'm like, this woman does not quit. Like 7-8 years now, you will send me something.
I'll probably be dead. I'll still be like, somebody sent the email.
Oh God.
I thought she was dead. To that Elvis and Tupac pill because this girl is bad.
Or too much. But yes, I get like every so often an email from you with some information. And I'm looking at the information like, how do you even have time? Like, because I know I'm not the only person that you're doing this for. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I'm like, how does she even have time? I'm looking at it like, how does she even have time to do this? Like, I can't even figure out how to do all the stuff that I'm trying to do. And you literally will send an email with some amazing information.
Right. And I look into a lot of like time management systems and making things work for me. My phone is literally the most powerful thing in the world. And I tell people, even when I'm teaching classes, like, your telephone has more, like 20 times more power than the people who first went to the moon. They just rubber band them out there. Like, you have power in your hands. You have a media center, you have a television center, you have a radio station, you have a whole office like sitting in your phone. And people don't understand that power. And once I learned, like, hey, there is power in doing things, and it's like time management software, just feeding out to my social networks. And I'm gathering so much information all the time. I'm always finding things out. I'm always reading things. I'm always, if I'm not reading, I'm writing, literally, in my world. And it's just amazing how much information comes, and then I just literally dole it out to where it needs to be and put it on a timer. Okay, it's going to auto schedule out, because it's awesome to share that information. Why keep it to myself?
Right.
We are here on this planet to be human beings. That means we have to have a connection, right, and we have to be helping people out. So I think if you're not helping people out, like I said, if you're not an asset, you're a liability, and I have to do that every day.
Yeah.
So when I find information out, I have to send it out. I read that article, I study it, I write down the practices, and okay, this is what we're going to be doing. I have my little journal, and I literally write it out. Okay, I'm going to be doing this soon, but while I'm not doing it, I'm going to be sending this information out because maybe somebody could be using it. Mm-hmm. So it's just little nicks and just awesome information out there. It's free.
Right.
I always say go for the free first, but like, it's so much information out there. And I just don't, to me, I don't know why other people are not doing it. But I'm like, oh, don't be me, because you're never sweet.
I was gonna say, like, how do you even find time for you? I know that all these things that you do is amazing and you love doing those things, but there's this, I would think that there's this other part of Sylvia, like this part that has to be you, and
me time,
to take care of you, and to make sure that you're okay from top to bottom. Like, how do you do that? Do you do that?
Yes, I actually do. At least, you know what, and I did it with the kids at the beginning. We had this thing called 1 hour. So when I first walk in the door, it's 1 hour. Don't talk to me. If you're dying, you can wait. If you're dead, you really don't need me. You know, I kind of had that 1 hour. And it was my mom. She said, you know, you be selfish with that time, because that time you get home, you got to change your mindset from being an employee, from being a sister, a daughter, or whatever you were before you walked in that door. And then I got to be a mom. I got to be a housekeeper. I got to be, you know, all the 20 million titles that come with as soon as I walk in the door. So it's crazy, because before I started doing my 1 hour, you know, I'd walk in the door, mom, and then you hear from 3 people, which is no joke. Once I started enforcing this 1 hour, you know, and I would just go in my room and I could just sit there and look at the wall. Or, you know, if I had a movie it was playing, I'd just watch a movie. Or if I was binge watching on something, read a book. But it was my time. I could take a nap. I could do whatever I wanted. And I learned, like, all through, even as they grew up, and they, you know, soon they didn't even need me. They didn't care if I walked in the door or not. But I still practice that to this day of, I'm going to take an hour no matter what and do whatever I want to do and not feel bad about it. Even if I slept for like that whole hour, I don't feel bad about it.
Yeah.
You know, because that's my hour. And every day I do that. 60 minutes. I go somewhere and do something for Sylvia.
Right. Good for you. Good for you.
You have to, because in this day and age, with so many people pulling your attention to here, to there, and I mean, with the responsibilities of people taking on, hey, you got your kids, and then you got your friends, and you got things like that, you really have to control that space around you, because if you don't, that's where the problems come, and then you're going to need drugs, and then you're going to need other stuff, and it just piles on. And soon you don't have any control of where you first started, because there's so much stuff in the way.
Right.
So I'm just like, well, I don't need no drugs. I just need an hour.
Yeah.
Just give me my hour, and then I come back out and I'm good. Because even if it was a problem, or if I was stressed about something, that hour is not going to take away that problem.
Right. At all.
That problem's still going to be there after I come out of my space. So, you know, even when I had big situations or horrible situations, I still always took that hour, because I found out that was my saving grace. That was what I needed.
Right.
So yes,
I hear you. You are this amazing romance writer, and you have been like writing romance for ever. And now you have this like life, this new romantic life.
I know. Now I gotta it took me like forever. After 40 books, now I get my own life. You know, it's weird, because I really have to say that he has given me the best romance story I could have never imagined. And that's kind of weird to say, because I've come up with some really good stuff, but like, he just every day finds a way to like, oh my God, I didn't know this could be like this. Like, and it's been an adjustment, because 18 years as a single mom is no joke. Like, you're set, like, it's my way or the highway. And when I say jump, you better say how high. But then when you bring another adult in the house, and you actually have to share that responsibility, you're like, I gotta ask permission for what? What? But it's really cool, because we get along, like we're just like best friends. So it's kind of like, it's like a sleepover every night. Like, oh my God, we gotta go watch a movie tonight. We're just so excited. You know, we'll get out in the middle of the night. You want Taco Bell? Let's go Taco Bell. They don't close till 3. It's like 1:30. Let's go. But it's like, and that's how it feels. But, you know, and it's like, I could have never imagined, out of all the romances I could have come up with, the real life is so much better. Yes. It does enhance your writing just a little bit. But, you know, I've always come up with great romances, and finally going through the motions of it, it's really cool. Yeah. It's really cool. I think I've been just training myself to be in love, and now that I am, it's just like, oh wow, this does work.
Good. That's good. That's good. I would have never even put that together, but that is good.
Yeah.
You and he have I don't know, you've been together for quite some time
3
now.
years.
Yeah. I'm like, look at this. And it started out, I remember you would post on Twitter, and you'd use the hashtag.
He still got, we go out, and it's so funny because people still say, oh, that's made my night. They don't even want to know his name. He'll be like, no, my name is, no, don't tell me. You're made my night. We love you. It's like, he goes around his family, he's like, I'm just a hashtag. You know, we just go out. People just run up to, oh my God, this has made my night. They're so excited. But like, it's funny how, you know, he's become this hashtag, and but like I said, he's become my best friend. Like, and it's cool because you hear about it, and people don't talk about good relationships, how to keep a good relationship. But they don't talk about those little things of, man, you just want to sit and eat popcorn all night, or you just want to go and find a Snickers. And I love eating, so he loves making sure I want some. But it's kind of cool. It's really cool to find someone when you've written so many love stories that you get a love story that you would have never imagined. Yeah. So it's kind of cool.
That's amazing. Well, we're going to take another quick break. This is the Conversations with Kai Mann show. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Iology Inc., an innovative, navigational, and creative company that works with its clients from the inside out. We believe in walking our clients hand in hand, from concept creation to brand management. Our innovative process assists our clients in conceptualizing, developing, building, rebuilding, or restructuring their lives, businesses, and brands. Are you ready to be seen, heard, and remembered? Contact us at iologyinc.com.
And we are back with the Conversations with Kai Mann show. I'm sitting here talking with Sylvia Hubbard. And we had to come back because I had to know, I really want to know why he was a hashtag.
I know. I mean, why he still is a hashtag, right?
Tell us why you did that.
Privacy, well, of course, being a mom, I've always been private about my kids' names online. So, like, it just kind of seeped on into that, you know. You can't always put everything online. And I am a very public person. You know, I share that journey of being a mom. I share that journey of being a woman. And I want to share this journey of being like a girlfriend or whatever he wants to put in front of that title. But people, we all have to learn. And I think, okay, it's the difference being social and just being nasty or just being putting everything out there. You don't have to put everything out there, but you can still share enough. And so, you know, my son became the boy, you know, then it's the girl, the oldest one, and then it's we call her, I don't know, I mean, we call her the 14-year-old, 15-year-old, whatever age she is. That's what, you know, and then so when he came along, he just became that made my night because, like, you know, we'd go on these dates and he'd drop me off at home and I'd be like, drive away. And he'd be like, oh, that just made my night. I can go to sleep. That's all he wanted was to take me out and eat. Ooh, Jesus. Ooh, you done made my night. I can go to sleep. And then, so that's how his hashtag came about. You know, every time we went somewhere, like, oh, you made my night by doing this. So
how did that, like, how did the, I don't know if I want to call it, and I'm not going to even say the word, how did the secrecy kind of build up for you? What was that kept the two of you going night after night?
It was more or less, I mean, in terms of like the privacy, because he's a very private person. Mm-hmm. He's not even, I mean, barely does his social media, mm-hmm. barely keeps up with it. So he's not a really public person. We're not even friends on Facebook, really? Literally, because I have like so much stuff or so many things. I mean, he checks it because everything is public in my social media and everything. And he had a problem with that at first. He was like, wow, you're very out there. He saw my search results and he was like, man, you're really out there. And but then he saw how I control that. Like, mm-hmm. okay, yeah, you may know me, but you don't even know my son's name, or right. you may know me, but you don't know where I live. Mm-hmm. You don't know, what's going on in my life or what's really happening. And I may not post something for like 3-4 days. We'll go on a date and 3-4 days I may talk about, hey, we were here, right. And so like that. So, keeping those two worlds apart, but also him working together with me, knowing that hey, I'm a public figure and he knows when I'm going out, people are going to approach us. And, right. and he'll take the back seat, and he's gone to red carpet events and he knows when I have to stand out, he does the little, stand to the side or come in. He's like the best boyfriend. Like, he's not all up in there like, oh, I gotta be here. I gotta, this is my woman, But he knows, like, hey, they want to take a picture with me. He don't feel offended by it, So it was kind of, he's a great person to be with. I love that, he likes to stay private or do things that are private, so that's kind of good. Like, I have to have that balance, though. Right. And because you come home, you be out in public and you're hugging and kissing everyone, take pictures with you, but then when you get home, you want to be home. Mm-hmm. And you want to be able to be with somebody who's like not treating you like you're a public figure. You want somebody to treat you like Sylvia, right? And that's what he treats me like. So it's kind of like,
I see you glowing. I see all that.
But it's kind of cool because you really need that balance of, okay, I'm a public person, but I'm also have this private life. And that's what's so good about it, is that we keep that little privacy going. Right. And it keeps us strong.
So how, since he's been you guys have been in the relationship, how has the writing, going? What's the process like now? Is it getting juicier? What do you think?
I think it's always been juicy.
Of course, but
it's been more insightful where I can get a lot of men, like I can really see how he feels towards me. I mean, he loves to just tell me how he feels because he's more analytical. So when he's felt things, he just blurts it out, and I'm like, wow, you feel like that? That's how you feel? That's what it is. He's like, yeah, it does this, and like he'll do something and it'll just make me think about you. Or he'll send a picture and then I'll remember a memory. So like putting those connections, like seeing him fall in love with me is kind of fun, because he's telling me as a friend how he, as a boyfriend, is falling in love with me. So it's kind of weird.
Wow.
You're like, wow. So it gives me a big insight when I'm writing of how the man feels in this powerful relationship, and why his reasons as to why he wants to make this woman's life better. Right. So it's kind of cool. I can take that aspect from real life and put it even more powerful in a book and really bring a love story to light around suspense and drama and everything like that. But a really powerful love story that's going to last through the ages. So
right.
I like it.
I like it.
I like it.
You seem so happy.
He's a benefit.
You're going to keep him?
That's what I said. I I usually ask him that like once a week. Can I keep you? Can I keep you? But he's like, yeah, of course.
That's cool. That's cool.
That's cool.
You have been, you've been this mom, you've been this author, you've been this friend, you've been all these different roles and titles that you hold. And what to you is the most, I won't say most important title, because we know that mother is and I don't want you to say mother. So I want to know what the most important or most valuable or whatever you can think of, the title that most feel like home, the title that makes you seek more, the title that makes you more passionate. What's that title for you?
I think being a woman is the most powerful title. I think women even now don't even understand the power that goes behind just saying you are a woman. We were put on this planet as a gift. And being that we are a gift, even when we don't feel like we're being treated like a gift, we still have power behind this. We still can do things that just would amaze mankind, literally. And once we find our power, once we find our womanhood and bring it to the surface, people can't take that away. No matter what the world throws at you, no matter what comes at you, you are a woman. You can use your power to make things either better for yourself, or you cannot use it and things get worse. But you always have to bring it to the surface. You have to use it. So just being a woman, it's like, wow, that makes you sit up straight, like, I am a woman. I can do things that men can't do. Like, I can drop 10 pounds and go to work the next day. Can you do that? I can heal the whole house and then catch whatever they caught and go to work the next day. Can you do that? We can do some amazing things, even if it doesn't have to do with mommyhood, but just how our brain works. We're able to use both sides of our brains collectively, and we have this emotional power that can draw people to us. How can you not want to be a woman? Like, wow, it's just great. So yeah, I would say that's the best title of all, and I'm so thankful every day when I wake up that he chose me to be in this vessel, that I am given this power, and I want to use it every day for the whole of mankind if I can.
Awesome. So if you were to look at your life in a whole, and you can pick out 1-2 things that that kind of either catapulted you into the space that you're in now, or something that just gave you something inside that you held on to since that particular time.
I would actually have to say that would have to be being a mom. Not just that one moment when I got to, and it wasn't really, I didn't value, like, I knew the job of being a mom. I knew, like, you have to make the sacrifices and everything, and you go through the motions, change the diapers, take care of them, the 5 basic essentials the government say, so you won't go to jail. When I had my daughter, and it was a C-section, but then I really didn't understand unconditional love that a child can have for a mom until I had my son. And he taught me literally how to love before he was even born.
Wow.
Because I didn't even want him, and I prayed every day that he would die.
Wow.
And in my 6th month, I had not gained any weight. I had not anything. It was just, he was just there barely, and they told me I could have an abortion. It would be a valid health abortion because my health would start to deteriorate. And that night, I was so happy. I was like, okay, let's do this. Let's go in the operating room. Come on, let's go. And I guess I was just too happy. The doctor was like, hey, wait, go home, and come back, and get ready for surgery. So that was the first time in like 6 months since I'd been pregnant that I actually felt happy, like I was going to get rid of this weight. Because at that point in my life, I was tired of men using me, and the fact that I would have to take care of this man for 18 years and give him my woman, my power, and he would not give anything back, that angered me. That really angered me. And that's why I was doing the praying every day. So when I got home, I went to sleep and I had a dream, and he was in that dream. I saw his big brown eyes, his furry little eyebrows, and just looking right up at me out of a coffin. And I knew that was him. And I knew what he was doing. He was giving me the ultimate love gift. He was going to die because that's what I wanted.
Wow.
And I woke up that next morning, and I told God, if I could just see him, if I could just tell him I'm sorry for underestimating what love really was and what it could bring to my life, I would be the best mom in the world. And I didn't go to the surgery the next day. I didn't care. I was like, they were calling, they were like, oh, you could die, you could get an infection, the babies, you haven't even checked on the baby. I didn't care. I didn't want them to tell me they had to take him away. And then in 1 week, I gained 30 pounds.
Wow.
And then in a month, I gained 20 more.
Wow.
And then I finally went to the doctor because I hadn't felt him move. I hadn't felt him move in a couple of months, and it was going on like 9 months. And I went to the hospital, and they were like, he's there, he's been growing, but he wouldn't move or anything. When they would try to push him on my belly, he'd just sit there, and he wouldn't move. And there's like, he has a heartbeat, he has everything, he looks like he's okay, but he wouldn't move. And that day they sent me home, and I went into labor that night.
Wow.
And he came about 3 in the morning, and I literally reached down and I pulled him on my chest and looked in those big brown eyes, and I said how sorry I was, and he knew. He knew. And that's when I knew what love was. I knew what unconditional love was between human beings. He had to show me. I had to go through the storm to get this beautiful rainbow, this little boy who came out 10 pounds, girl.
10 pounds, Jesus.
Oh, good Lord. It was 2 pushes. 10 pounds, girl. It's on record at his report if you want to go look it up. Fastest birth ever.
Thank God.
Thank God.
10 pounds is a lot.
They were like, if he stayed any longer, he'd go to college tomorrow. But I learned what love was, what a powerful thing that unconditional agape love could do to the human soul. It can heal, it can move you forward, it can change the way you look at everything. And yeah, people say, Sylvia, you have this glow, or you have this spirit in you, and it is because that moment when I looked in my son's eyes, when you see what agape is, you can never go back. You can never go back to dark days. You can never go back to anything that's bad, because you want to keep having that feeling, and you want to give it to other people. So yes, I do have to thank my seraphim for saving me, being by my side all my life, or all his life, and giving me that extra boost as a mother and as a human being, to say, there is love. There is love. And then every time you feel like there isn't enough or you don't have it, just remember there is love. And love really does conquer all.
Yeah.
And that's why I keep writing, because I want everybody to feel it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. We're going to go ahead and wrap it up on that. I don't want to do anything with the essence and that spirit of love that's happening right now. Thank you for coming on the show.
Thank you for having me.
You're quite welcome. Well, you guys make sure that you stay in love. This has been the Conversations with Kai Mann show. Thank you and good night. Miss a Conversation with Kai Mann? Watch anytime on any of these platforms.